Do it. You're never too old. I was 54 when I started this, and I'm in the best shape of my life. It seems like people sort of respect me more because, the first thing they ask is, how'd you do it? And I
Hmm.
say, diet and exercise. I have an awesome coach, trainer. I'm down a total of over 80 pounds. I have went from a snug 2X to a large shirt, no X's, just a large. I've went from a tight 38 pant to a 34. I just feel better. I feel like I look better. I feel better about myself. I'm more confident. I just got the promotion. I went into those interviews and I felt good about the way I looked. My clothes fit. They weren't tight. I wasn't uncomfortable, and that makes a difference. Because you just feel more confident when you are not having to suck it in and feel like your shirt's too tight or bulging at the buttons. Just huge life-changing result.
Super proud of him. Super proud of what we've accomplished together so far, man. And just want to share, what's been going on with you, what's been working, and what we've accomplished together, man. So, happy to talk to you, Eddie, and kind of just tell me first off, man. What do you do? Who you are?
Well, I'm Eddie, like you said, 55 years old. For work, I am a compliance auditor, so I am tied to laptops and computers all day. So sit down a lot. So the weight came on. It just
Yeah,
added on because I was sedentary, not active,
yeah.
and no, that's not healthy.
Well, let's back up and talk about, where we first started from day one, man. Back in March, how you looked that day, how you felt, kind of tell me about what life was like back then, man.
I hated the way I looked. I've always, I've never liked being my size that I was. I had already lost a little bit of weight when I started with you, but I was at a plateau, could not get past, kept playing with the same 5, 10 pounds over and over and over and over again. And it was just time to break that cycle. I looked in the mirror and I wasn't happy with what I saw. I didn't like myself. And I was like, something's got to change. And then you came along and I was like, oh my goodness, can I do this? 5 years, 54, and
I think when we first started, you were doing some carb cycling, or you were doing some other stuff, but you were kind of stuck, just
right.
doing what you were currently doing. So, was there anything in particular that made you just, wanted to make the change, or like you said, just kind of not happy with what you've seen for the most part?
I just, last year I was diagnosed with multiple heart conditions and some blood flow issues in my legs and sleep apnea. And I was looking at, my family history of heart attacks and strokes and diabetes and high blood pressure and cholesterol problems. And I just did not want to end up like the rest of my family. And I said, it's time to make a change. My doctor kept wanting to put me on the GLP-1s, Ozempic, and the Trulicity, things like that. And I just decided no, that I didn't need medicine to do something that I have to learn to do anyway, and that's be in moderation when I'm eating and do exercise. So I opted for the traditional route, and
Well,
it's
and
worked
I and I know that you're a guy that struggled with your weight for years, if not decades.
my whole life.
Yeah, you've told me your journey. You've struggled with your weight your whole life. So tell me, like, what was it that really made the difference, with working with me, and what kind of changed once we started working together?
It was the support, knowing that you're just a text or a meeting away. If I had any questions, I just send you a message and boom, there's the response. And if needed, we set up a Zoom and talked face to face, and just the ongoing support, the confidence that you had in me helped build the confidence in myself. And that was just really a game changer. The community that we have within the team, it's just everybody is supported. We're all working towards the same goal. We're all got the same struggles, and we all help cheer each other on to stay consistent and get results.
Yeah, man, you've become a true leader on the team as well, man, inspiring others too. I mean, tell me about, I've seen a lot of it personally, but from your perspective, like, what do you feel has changed with your habits, with your mindset, kind of now?
Oh, I'm a total different person. Um, I've told you before, there have been times when, before you, I would look for any excuse not to go out and exercise, which basically all I did was either the elliptical or the treadmill. I didn't do any kind of strength training before. And, if it got to be like 7 o'clock at night, I was like, oh, it's too late, because I'm gonna have to, I'll do an hour and then I'll have to get my shower and then I'll have to take care of the dogs and blah, blah, blah. And I would just make any excuse to not exercise. Now it's a non-negotiable. I mean, if it's 8:30 and I'll go out there and I'll do my exercise because I've got to get it done. I just don't feel right if I don't. Um,
Yeah.
paying attention to what I'm eating, making better choices, making sure I get protein, and even when I eat out, making better choices from the menu, because just about everywhere there's something that can be healthy, and it's just it's a whole different way of looking at things, and it's not that it's restrictive or anything, it's just making different choices.
Yeah, the choices that you want for your goals. And I know that you didn't mention it, but I'm going to mention some of this stuff when we talk about mindset wise that you have overcome. I mean, you've came from a guy like you just said, you used to make excuses to now like you hurt your knee one day, you were still getting your steps in, something a tree branch fell on your head, you're still getting your workouts done.
Right,
It's like you just literally have become, like we talked about, the guy that just gets it done regardless. You develop discipline and consistency. Like we always say, you're doing the hard things, but look at the results.
right,
You used to be that comfortable guy, that overweight guy that, I mean, you struggled with your weight your whole life. Now
yeah.
at 55, you got it together, but it just shows the mindset shifts you've really made. Just getting the workouts done regardless. And yeah, it just makes me really happy to see, man. But you tell me kind of I mean, there's been multiple of them, but tell me some about some of your biggest wins, that we've accomplished these last few months.
I'm down a total of over 80 pounds. I have went from a snug 2X to a large shirt, no X's, just a large. I've went from a tight 38 pant to a 34. I've seen the scale move. I haven't measured lately, but I've, 30 something inches overall in my body. I just feel better. I feel like I look better. I feel better about myself. I'm more confident. Um, I just got the promotion. I went into those interviews and I felt good about the way I looked. My clothes fit. They weren't tight. I wasn't uncomfortable, and that makes a difference. Because you just feel more confident when you are not having to suck it in and feel like your shirt's too tight or bulging at the buttons. And it's just a whole different person now.
Just confident, just lost a bunch of weight. And of course, I mean, you mentioned lots of health stuff as well, right? Blood work or cholesterol or something too, right?
For the first time in almost 20 years, my good cholesterol is above the minimum. My blood pressure is perfect when I go to the doctor. It was around 150 over like 80s and 90s. Now it's like 117 over 67 the last time I went, just this last week. So no longer pre-diabetic. Blood sugar is good. My A1C is perfect. No longer fatty liver disease. That's gone. That's reversed. Just huge life-changing uh, results,
That's
just
awesome,
simply
man.
from executing the plan and making it happen.
And not only that, man, like I got to keep challenging you. It's like, okay, we hit the last goal. Now we're going to get under 200 for the first time in, I don't
Right.
know, 30, 40,
45 years. I was
40.
10 years old the last time I weighed under 200 pounds.
Geez, 45 years, man. That's crazy. And now we're working on doing pull-ups now. I think you
Right.
even did some burpees. It's like, man, you're just showing what's really possible even at 55. But like I always say, you've earned this. You've
Yeah.
dropped a bunch of weight. It's like, okay, well, what's the next goal? What's the next goal? What can we do now? And it's just so great to see, man, all the health, the confidence, the new job promotion, what we're working on now and stuff. So, I mean, have you noticed this affecting? The way people see you, like your relationships at work, how you talk to yourself, or how does that play a part?
It seems like people sort of respect me more because, the first thing they ask is, how'd you do it? And I
Mhm.
say, diet and exercise. I have an awesome coach, trainer. And they're like, really? You didn't do medications? I said, no, just good old fashioned diet and exercise. And that sort of gives a whole new respect there because, I didn't do the medications. I didn't have surgeries. And people just look at me different. It's spilled over into friends and family. My sister's now walking 2 miles 3 days a week, which before she was not walking unless it was just to go into Walmart to shop. But she told me last night, she's like, and now she said, I've got the itch to do it. She said, I have to go, and walk. And my next door neighbor asked me to help her to sort of coach her a little bit to get her back on track. And people definitely have noticed they're looking at me a completely different way, and that's pretty awesome.
Well, if they're looking at you like, hey, as an example, man, now they want to know, you're
Yeah.
inspiring others, you're motivating others, you're leading others, man. And I think that's why you got the promotion too, just as who you become. People have seen your journey, your transformation, and I love that you're inspiring, lots of people around you, man. So, I mean, what would you say if someone's watching this and, they feel how you used to be? Maybe they're stuck, they're not seeing the results, overweight. I mean, what would you tell them?
Do it. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till the first. Everybody, it's getting to be New Year's resolutions, and they're like, "Oh, well, I'll start January 1st." You could already have lost 25 pounds by January 1st. Why
Yeah.
wait? That's taking a chance with your health. That's taking a chance with your heart. Start now. Do it. You're never too old. I was 54 when I started this, and I'm in the best shape of my life. I mean, I can drop and do 100 push-ups right now. I couldn't do that when I was 15. There was
Right.
no way. I couldn't even do 50 when I was 15.
Yeah.
I mean, you are only limited by what your mind tells you you're limited.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you want it, you got to go after it.
And what would you say to the version of you who maybe almost didn't join, who was in your head thinking maybe past failures, or what would you say to that guy?
Aren't you glad you took the chance?
Yeah.
And you're worth the investment.
Well, and it just goes to show you, man, you're someone who's literally struggled with your weight for your whole life,
Yeah,
probably failed many times.
yeah, absolutely.
Got stuck, lost the weight, gained it right back, and here you are just, hey, I needed to make a change. I needed to do something different. Took that leap in the coach and yourself, and it's been amazing to see what we've accomplished, man. So thanks for sharing all that. And I know we're not done yet.
No, we're not. We're not.
We're still pushing. We're still pushing to get to the next level, and just I got to keep challenging you, man. Hey, like you said, we're only at 55, and just happy to see all that, man. Any last words? Anything for me? Anything for anybody else? Or
It's the best decision I ever made. It honestly is. I'm so thankful that I chose to invest in myself and do this, because I'm a total different person, not only just in appearance, but in my health. My cardiologist this week called me his healthy patient. And I was like, man, I've never had a doctor call me a healthy patient. They've always said, you need to lose weight. You're too heavy. You're da. But I'm the healthy patient. So, that's a good feeling.
that's awesome, man. Well, so happy to hear, man. You've done great things. Like I said, you've become a true leader, team member on the team, inspiring others. Even at 55, like it just shows that, it's never too late to make a change. And proud of you, man. And let's keep it going.
All right, we will.
And if you want to get results just like Eddie, or maybe you're just tired of not getting the results you want me to take out all the guesswork and help get you to your goals a lot faster, I invite you to book a free strategy session with me below, or feel free to message me on Instagram at JJVelasquez_coach. We can talk more about what your goals are, what you're looking to do, and see if I could possibly help.